Hello, I'm Lisa Logan. Welcome. After telling you that I wasn't going to make videos very often, here I am again 2 days later. Or is it 3? I forget. But I got such a large response from the last video that I made that I thought, I better get you while you're hot. Okay, let me say, if this is your first time watching, I'm Lisa Logan. I'm a psychotherapist. I've been a psychotherapist over 30 years. I've been a psychotherapist. I was the original Lucy. You remember Peanuts with the little sign that said advice 5 cents or something like that? That's me. I know it is. And I've been a psychotherapist in private practice. I've been a radio talk show host for 2 different programs. I've been a college instructor. And I've been a licensed minister. I still am. I suppose I could still be all of those things, but some of them I'm not doing any longer. I would. My program was loving on the radio. No shock jock me. Geez, I'm so surprised by one person in particular who's had a program for years. Why do we tune into the people that are most affrontive, most insulting? Why do we do that? We shouldn't. We should be loving. Oh, our whole culture has gotten worse because of listening to people like that who can be very mean. I was very nice to the people who called, and I used to get little kids who would call every once in a while. It was so much fun. It really, and Santa Claus, I know I always say that. The highlight of my program was that Santa Claus came the day before Christmas, which meant he was really busy getting ready to send all those presents out, but he took the time to come to my show. Ho, ho, ho. That's what he did. All through the show, he just went, ho, ho, ho. Okay, but that's going to sound silly over this video. Okay, my dog's standing over there on the porch watching me do this. She'd really like it if I'd bring her here. I thought, if I do, she'll scoot around. Peaches. And my other dog is Tweak. And Tweak is called Tweak because he can't hold still. He's a little... What do I want? He's a little exciting dog. He's so precious. You've seen him. Okay. Listen, the video that I did on Monday or Tuesday got a really large response, and I singled two of them out. One was a woman, and I don't know if she's a woman or a man because I have no name, no first name or anything that gives me any identification. And believe me, we have a lot of men who are watching these videos. And she says, last night's video has to be the very best ever. Well, that'll get me to make another one. Thank you. Thank you so much for saying that. I think you were definitely speaking about me. No, I was speaking about me. No, I wasn't. I was speaking about every single one of us. Every one of you who wrote said, yes, that was me. That was me. I've done that. Okay. And how many times, she says, have I put out money and went beyond to please, and yes, to be important to my children? Yep. Don't we do that? And listen, that's why I'm doing this today. And they know it. They know it. And they know if they can just put the screws to you enough that you're going to respond. Now, for those of you, because I just got this in my head, for those of you who think that unless you hear what I have to say in the new videos I'm going to be making that will help the adult child, you're thinking that you got to wait for that. No, you're going to still have to change the way you are, because we always think that it's them that's doing it. It is them, but they can't do it unless we let them. That's real important. We cannot do it. We cannot buy a pizza that they're not going to eat and that they're going to spend that they're going to use as a way to get back at us by saying, I don't care about that pizza. I'm not hungry. What's wrong with you? Okay? We let them. We let them. And why? You got to know the answer. I've said it about 100 times now. That's an exaggeration, but I've said it a lot of times. The reason that you do it, this woman put it nicely. She says, and yes, I want to be important to them, and that's why I do it. Yes, but also the ultimate ending is I want to be accepted and loved and not banished from my family. Okay? So the reason that I made the video, one of the reasons, but the most important reason, I think, that I made that video the other day is to teach you and us, because I've been through that too. Yeah, I sure have. But my daughter and my son-in-law are in a different spot because they have tons of money. They would probably cough to hear me say that on this video, but they're in a good position money-wise. So I didn't have to use money as much to try to keep my ingratiating, trying to be important to them. Honey, we're just people. We don't want to lose our family. That's the worst thing that can happen to us. The very, very worst. So please don't fault yourself for doing this. Anybody would. Anybody would. They don't want to be. We don't want to be. Nobody wants to be banished from their own family. It's true. But what I want to do is help you understand when you're doing what you're doing so that you don't have to change it. But I promise you that by becoming aware of it, right now, I'm kissing up to my daughter. I'm kissing up to my son. Does that kind of language offend you? If you were came to see me in my office, you had to listen to that kind of talk. And I don't want to offend you. But I'm reaching a much larger office. This office may have 1,000 people watching it. I've had over 1,000 people now looking at the videos. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, the more I can teach you what you're doing, not so that you'll be ashamed of it. Don't be ashamed. Anyone would do what you're doing. Do not be ashamed. Love yourself. I'm a good person, and I'm going through something very, very difficult. Peaches! She's gonna... Sorry, that means that there's a cat or a deer out there. We'll just let her bark. Maybe you can't hear it. I can hear it. I have this door open right here. I'm a good person. I'm going through something that not everybody could handle. That's what I want you to say to yourself. Actually, the truth is your child can't handle it. Your child can't handle it. But I'll get back to you on that. And that doesn't mean that they're bad. This is a terrible, terrible thing that's going on for both of us, our child and us. Got to get the book out first. Just got to. It's so hard for me to keep a secret. You know, if I bought you a Christmas present today, well, I'd find a reason that you should open it right now. I'm no good at that stuff. So I want you to love yourself. There. Whoa. Thank you. Thank you, God. I want you to love yourself. And I want you to, again, take your little child, the one that's a little boy or a little girl that's around 5 years old, because you'll see them out there, or you'll hear them. Have you talked to your child yet? Remember, parent, adult, child, ego state. And if you're a man, you think that's silly. No, that's just the way you've been raised. I've had the president of the Hells Angels, president of the Black Panthers, president of, what else? All Mexican Mafia. Come on. I was at Soledad Prison. Gosh, I wish some of you guys were out of prison now and were watching these videos. I loved you so much, and I'd love to hear from you. I remember all of you, every single one of you. Now, what I'm telling you is years ago, I did my internship at Soledad Prison, and they gave me all of the leaders, the inmate leaders of the prison. And they would put their stomach out there, they'd put their child out there, and they'd talk to them and go, "Don't tell anybody." And I'd say, "Honey, I won't." But then we'd hug after group was over. They were wusses, good men. It was sad. We're all good people. Stop it, Peaches. We're all good people. Listen. We do bad things. We can do bad things. But we're loved in the eyes of our God. Always. I know that to be true. I tried to apologize for things that I had done, and I was told, "Stop. I love you just as you are. You are loved just as you are." Sometimes I wonder if maybe the reason that we've been given the hardest thing that we'll ever go through in our lives, other than the death of one of our children or all of our children, or sometimes I wonder if the God that's our God simply thinks that we're strong enough to handle it. I don't think I have been strong enough to handle it, but I've done it, and I know so well that God's been right there, loving me every inch of the way and taking care of me. I know it. And so when another precious person wrote to me, I love her so much, and she said, "Lisa, I pray for you every day, and there's a miracle that's going to happen." And I went, "Yes, thank you. Please, maybe you could pray too." What I want the miracle to be, I already know. I just want to have a lot of money, win the lottery, whatever, because I would spend every cent of it on you guys, on our whatever. I'd make a treatment center. I'd make a place where all of us could come together, not all of us, and I'd give you scholarships to come, because if I won the lottery, I wouldn't have to charge for anything, and bring you and your adult child together. It's all I want in this life now. Okay, what am I talking about? So strength and power, let's talk about that first. Because what I said the other day was, if you know that you're doing this, that gives you more strength. If I said strength, if I said power, power is when we control. Strength is when we're being authentically who we are. It takes strength to show that to other people. But strength is where it's at. Let's see. So if you're buying a pizza or buying a new TV for your adult child, or what would you buy? Whatever. If you're buying your way in, you can do that. I don't have any judgment about that. I just want you to know what you're doing, because that's where your strength is. And so if your strength then says, I'm doing this because I want them to like me, and you say that to your child or to yourself, inside of you, the parent, adult, and child that you have, which is the id, ego, and superego, although it isn't quite that way with Sigmund Freud. When you have that, you're able to take care of yourself. All I want you to do with that information is not to feel ashamed. No shame. It's not about being ashamed. Anyone would do it. Okay? And the reason people who are famous and have lots of money don't have to do it is because they have a lot of money and they're buying their way in because they have a lot of money. So they don't have to worry about buying a pizza. They just buy a new house. They do, don't they? So, very interesting. Okay. Wow. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just hearing some things. I guess that'll be another video. Just surprised me. Because I was thinking about who it is that's buying their way in. They're people with a lot of money and they don't face the same kinds of things we do, but they know it. They know what's going on. I have some very wealthy people who are writing to me. Okay, so I care about you. I don't want you to put yourself down for doing probably better than what most people would do if they had to face this. This is horrible. I want you to take your child out, and I want you to tell her or him, the little boy, I love you. I love you so much, baby. You are so special. And then what you say is, this is when you're alone. Honey, do you believe me? Do you believe that I love you? And listen for the answer. And then say, and if you don't hear them, I used to love doing these sessions with my clients. But I'm telling you how to do your own. If you have too much trouble, I'll help you. But then say, do you believe me? And no answer still. Then you say, listen, I understand because I have not listened to you. I've never talked to you before. I understand that you don't want to listen to me, that you're not used to it, that you wouldn't trust me, but you can trust me. I'm turning over a new leaf, and I'm going to be there for you. And you're not crazy. It's going to change your whole life. So I want to make sure you understand. You got to do this stuff. Now, if you're waiting for these new books that I've written, because one of them is directly to your adult child. If you're waiting for that book before you make some changes in yourself, wasted time, don't do it. It's important for you to change. And if you've already changed by the time you buy that book for your adult child, you're going to be that much ahead. You got to trust me. I'm telling you the truth. I've done this for years. It's just that I didn't know that I could do it that it was the answer to all of this. So do what I'm telling you to do. Please, every day, please, take that little child out. What I used to do was I'll drive. I'm always going and running an errand someplace. So I saw my child down on the other side. For those of you who are in England and other countries, yay, because you're watching me too, watching us, because it's going on in your country too, not just England. So if it was that way, then I'd be pointing this way. But in our country, driver's seat is here, the passenger floor is over there, and I would have my child that only I see, the inner child, that only I see, and I would talk to her. Hi, honey, tell me how you are today. Well, she talked to me right away, but a lot of my clients had a hard time getting in touch with your child. Just don't give it up. Keep on. Write to me. I'll make some suggestions. I don't mind because I want you to get this. Okay. So, strength and power. Your strength is about standing there as you've just bought a pizza for your daughter, and she's saying, I don't want that thing. I didn't ask for that. Yes, you did. You asked for it. No, don't do that. You don't argue. You just go, oh. But because you're cringing inside, and you are, all of us are wishing that we weren't doing that. We don't like ourselves as we do. Stop. Yes, anyone would do it. One of the problems in parental estrangement is that we give ourselves up. You can keep, to the best of your ability, from being banished by your family by just saying, oh. And let's see, what ego state are you in when you say, oh? You're adult. Your child can't do much to your adult child can't do much when you're in your adult ego state. They can't. If you want to read more about the parent, adult, and child, look it up on the internet. Eric Berne, his last name is spelled B-E-R-N-E, B as in boy, E-R-N-E, and this is transactional analysis. There's a lot of people who've written about it. I just happen to have been lucky enough to have had his office, and his partner, Robert Goulding, trained me. Bob and Mary Goulding. I think Mary's gone now too. Good people. They were some of the founders of transactional analysis. Best therapy because it's so simple. You can do it yourself. I've taught everybody that I could get my hands on how to do this. So, I mean that it's appropriate to teach. That doesn't mean it's appropriate. Never mind. Okay, so you just say, oh, when your daughter or your son is trying to get at you by poking, you just go, oh, okay. That's it. You don't have to get into it. You don't have to say, but I thought you wanted it. Now, when you do that, because I think that the woman who wrote the original letter, I love her so much. I think she said maybe, but I thought you wanted it. It doesn't matter. We would all say that. But I thought you wanted it. I would have said that to my daughter. No. I'm asking the impossible of you, because this is the most painful of all, and it's almost impossible because you're standing there hurting more than a person should hurt. But if you'll take it, remember, our feelings are in our child ego state. So if you'll just take that child and love her, you don't say it out loud. You can, not with your adult child there, but and tell her, honey, I love you. I am not ashamed of what you did. Anybody would do what you're doing. Baby, I love you. Please do that. So I wanted to do this video today so that you would know that that it's all okay, you guys. And it's going to keep on happening, but what I want you to do is just say, oh. Okay. I think that's all. I'm sure I'm going to get back in the house and go, I wanted to say this and I wanted to say that. What I do want to say is that I love you. Hope you know I mean it. You light up my life. Watch out, I'll sing. I love that song. Gosh. No, no, no. Not right now. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what else to say right now. I keep on thinking about that thought I had. I bet I ought to do a video on it, but I'm not sure I can legally. I'll ask somebody. If you're a lawyer out there, if you'd write to me, can I ask questions of you to see whether I can do this stuff, because I don't want to get in trouble. And yeah, and I'm not charging you, so just give me the answers. But write to me so I can write my questions. I love you guys. Okay. Nice morning to be with you. It is sunny. It is beautiful. And it's been a hard few days. Also, though, getting these things written out. See you later. And I'll see you the next time. If you write me about things that are going on, I'll make a video. Because I can't help myself. It's the way I am. Goodbye. See you.